In the arena of global politics, tensions run high, a chess game of power and influence where every move can turn the tide. At present, we find ourselves in the throes of a particularly compelling match, with Russia and Western countries locked in a tenuous standoff. In the complex tapestry of global politics, the threads of territorial disputes, economic sanctions, political ideologies, and military alliances are woven together, each contributing to the growing friction between these global juggernauts. Let's delve a little deeper. Territorial disputes, like the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, have proven to be a persistent thorn in the side of international relations. They serve not only as a battlefield for physical combat, but also as the stage for a battle of ideologies, a struggle between the ideals of democracy and the principles of autocracy. Next, we have economic sanctions, a tool often wielded by nations to exert pressure without resorting to military force. Yet these sanctions can deepen the divide, fueling resentment and pushing the sanctioned nation to respond with equal or greater force. And then we have the ideological divide. The clash between democratic and autocratic values is a long-standing one, a silent war that has shaped the course of history. This ideological conflict, a battle of hearts and minds, adds another layer to the already complex relationship between Russia and the West. Finally, let's not forget the role of military alliances. These partnerships, formed on the basis of mutual defense and strategic advantage, can escalate tensions, particularly when they involve nations already at odds. Each of these elements, in their own way, contributes to the intricate and volatile state of global politics we witness today. As we navigate this labyrinth, one thing is clear. In this high-stakes game, each move, each decision, can profoundly alter the landscape. As the dust settles on the political battlefield, a new development emerges. Russia makes a startling announcement. Like a well-written drama, the chronology of events leading to this point tell a tale of escalating tension and strategic maneuvers. The opening act of our story begins in the year 2022, when the conflict in Ukraine first ignited. A country caught in the crossfire of global powers, Ukraine became a theater of contention, a stage for the world's most potent political players. From the onset, the world watched with bated breath as tensions simmered, teetering on the brink of a full-blown confrontation. The Western countries, particularly the European Union, expressed concern and condemnation, but the situation remained a stalemate, a game of chess where each side was wary of making the first move. The plot thickened in the following years as the conflict in Ukraine continued to escalate, with no resolution in sight. The year 2024 marked a significant turning point. European leaders decided to change their strategy, shifting from a stance of passive concern to one of active support. They expressed stronger military backing for Ukraine, a move that was viewed by Russia as a direct provocation. This action was a pivotal moment in our narrative. It was the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back, pushing Russia to reassess its position and strategy. With the backing of the European Union, Ukraine was no longer a lone actor on the stage, but a symbol of a larger alliance, an alliance that Russia perceived as a direct threat. In response, Russia decided to flex its military muscle. It increased its readiness for combat tasks, preparing its forces for potential conflict. This was not a decision made lightly, but a calculated move in response to the perceived threat. It was a statement, a show of strength designed to send a clear message to the Western countries. The stage was set, the actors in place, and the tension palpable. The world watched, waiting for the next move in this high-stakes game of political chess. And then, in a move that sent shockwaves across the globe, Russia announced military drills involving the use of tactical nuclear weapons. A tactical nuclear weapon, a term as ominous as it sounds, but what does it really mean for the world? In the current climate of escalating tensions, Russia's recent announcement of military drills involving these tactical nuclear weapons has stirred up quite a storm. This move is a response to perceived threats from Western countries, particularly their support of Ukraine. But what does this all entail? To understand this, we need to delve into what tactical nuclear weapons are. They are essentially smaller in yield and designed for limited targets, unlike their strategic counterparts, which are intended to target larger areas. Think of it as the difference between a scalpel and a sledgehammer. Both can cause damage, but one is more precise while the other has a broader impact. So, when Russia announces drills involving tactical nuclear weapons, it's essentially showcasing its readiness to respond to any aggression on a localized scale, rather than a full-blown nuclear war. This involves missile formations and naval forces in the southern military district, which is a clear indication of Russia's preparedness for combat tasks. This is not a step taken lightly. Since the conflict in Ukraine began in 2022, this marks a significant escalation in tensions. It's like upping the ante in a high-stakes poker game, where the chips are not just currency, but global peace and security. And while Russia and the US remain the world's largest nuclear powers, countries like China, France, and the UK are not far behind in terms of nuclear arsenal size. This means that any escalation involving nuclear weapons doesn't just involve the countries directly in conflict, but has the potential to draw in other global powers as well. This announcement not only marks a significant escalation in tensions, but also raises questions about the future of global security. It's a reminder that in the game of global politics, the stakes are always high, and the decisions made can have far-reaching consequences. With the announcement comes a ripple effect, sending waves of uncertainty across the globe. Russia's announcement of military drills involving tactical nuclear weapons is a significant escalation in the ongoing geopolitical tensions. This move marks a shift in the global balance of power and has profound implications for international security and diplomacy. Firstly, let's consider global security. The deployment of tactical nuclear weapons, designed for limited targets, signals a readiness for escalated conflict. This is a stark reminder of the destructive power that these nations wield and the potential catastrophic consequences should tensions boil over into outright conflict. The world is once again reminded of the shadow of nuclear warfare that loomed large during the Cold War era. Now, onto diplomacy. This move could further strain Russia's relations with Western countries, especially those supporting Ukraine. The international diplomatic landscape, already fraught with tensions, may become even more complex as nations grapple with this new reality. It may lead to a diplomatic standoff, with nations compelled to take sides, further polarizing the international community. Next, the balance of power. This announcement could potentially trigger an arms race, reminiscent of the Cold War era. Other nuclear powers, such as the United States, China, France, and the United Kingdom, may feel compelled to respond in kind, increasing their military readiness or even conducting their own show of force. This could lead to a dangerous spiral of escalation, with each nation attempting to assert its dominance and secure its interests. And finally, the reactions from other nuclear powers. The United States, China, France, and the United Kingdom will undoubtedly be scrutinizing Russia's actions closely. Their responses could range from diplomatic condemnation to reciprocal military drills, further escalating tensions. The chessboard is set, and the players are making their moves. As we stand on the precipice of this new era, the world watches and waits. The next moves in this global chess game are critical. In the intricate dance of global politics, every step carries weight. Every decision echoes through history. Today, we've dissected the recent announcement by Russia about its nuclear weapon drills in response to perceived Western threats, specifically in support of Ukraine. We've journeyed through the chronology of events that led to this point, delved into the details of Russia's announcement, and explored the potential implications of such a move. This development marks a significant escalation in tensions since the Ukraine conflict began 2 years ago. As the world's largest nuclear powers, Russia and the US, along with China, France, and the UK, command a significant presence on the global stage. The use of tactical nuclear weapons, smaller in yield and designed for limited targets, introduces a new element to the ongoing conflict. Staying informed and engaged is crucial as we witness these unfolding events. In this rapidly changing world, our understanding of global politics is constantly being challenged and reshaped. As we continue to navigate the murky waters of global politics, one thing is certain: the world is watching. For now, we hold our breath, waiting for the next move in this high-stakes game.